It's February 23rd, 2021, and I'm Todd Dunn, and today I'm on my way to Bar Harbor again. Now, I don't know what I'm going to encounter. Right now, the plan is to go to Bar Harbor, do a little grocery shopping, and then kind of tour around town a little bit to show you a bit more of Bar Harbor than just downtown. But we were supposed to get anywhere from about 2 to 4 inches of snow last night. We got none. Bar Harbor was supposed to get a bit more, so we'll see. If Bar Harbor got rain like we did, then I'll be able to wander around Bar Harbor very easily. If it got snow, it might be kind of a slushy mess. So we'll see when we get there. Anyway, next stop, Bar Harbor. Okay, I am here in Bar Harbor on Water Street, which is perpendicular to Main Street and heads west from Main Street and is right on the water. As you can see out here, as we look across a yard, this is a residential area here in Bar Harbor. There are some relatively small homes, and there are some somewhat larger homes. This particular one is not actually a private home now. It is a museum, and prior to that it was the home of the Maine Seacoast Mission. But it used to be a private estate, and it probably illustrates the sort of high-end homes you're going to find here on the waterfront in Bar Harbor that, if it was for sale as a private home, would be in the multi-million-dollar range. Whereas the other side of the street has the relatively more affordable homes, probably in the $1 million range, maybe a little more for some of the bigger, grander places. Just walk up here a little. As you can see, there was no snow in Bar Harbor. Fair amount of rain though. And here is another little waterfront cottage. Now, most of the houses here in this part of Bar Harbor were built after the 1947 fire, because this part of town was pretty much burnt down. And you can see these are fairly large homes and would be relatively high-end properties. It looks like I'm going to have to cross the street to continue, because the sidewalk looks a little snowy on this side. Okay, here we go. And this gives a good view of some of the larger waterfront properties here that I know are well out of my price range. Some of these are inns. The green house there is an inn, but the bulk of these homes are private homes. Here's one of the low rent ones, not on the water side. Now I'm going to walk up a block and we'll look at the next street up. Right here we are 2 blocks from Cottage Street, which is Bar Harbor's number 2 commercial street. Actually, I think we're only 1 block from Cottage Street here, so we're not going to see much, but you can see there are still some homes here, very modest compared to the homes on the water. And many of these homes are summer homes, as is evident from the fact that no one has cleared the snow from in front of them. Some are occupied year-round. But this is sort of the typical housing on the west side of downtown. So let's go take a look at things a little farther away from the water, to the south of downtown. Now, on my way to the other residential district I was going to show you, I decided to stop off at the waterfront and take a look at downtown. There's downtown and snowy Agamont Park. And I'm out on the town dock right now. We'll walk across. And I think I'll climb up this snowbank to the sidewalk, such as it is. You can see it's kind of a mess here. There are no boats in the harbor today. That's Bar Island across there. Let me get across this snowbank. Pretty slushy mess after the rain last night. And the tide is out, so you can see that the bar to Bar Harbor is exposed, and you can walk over there now if you feel like it. And I don't know if the tide's going in or out, so if it's coming in, you wouldn't want to stay long. But there's Bar Island. That is part of Acadia National Park, as are all but one of the other islands here in the harbor at Bar Harbor. Okay, we're in the residential area where the Mount Desert Island Hospital is. That's it right there. And as we drive down here, you can see for the direction I'm going, there is no parking on this side of the street, and not a lot on the other side. So I'm just sort of shooting as we drive by out the window. And as you can see, this is much more modest in terms of the homes. And it's, but as we're headed toward the water now, and as we get closer, the homes are going to get bigger and more grand. Now this is the water side of the street. We're running parallel to the waterfront now. So what we're seeing here is small homes and access roads or driveways that go down to some of the waterfront estates here. And as you can see, some of them are in use, but a fair number are not. And it basically looks like we're in the woods here, but we're really not. These are people's yards. You can see a small home back in there, and more access to the bigger homes down along the waterfront. Here, as we turn away from the water, we've got a fenced estate. Now this is like 3 blocks from downtown Harbor. So this is sort of typical of what kind of big estates you might find here in Harbor. Here are basically some of the service buildings for this estate. I don't know where the home is, but it's down in there somewhere. As we come back out to Main Street. This is a large estate in Bar Harbor, just a few blocks from Main Street. Here at Main Street now, I'm going to go across and drive through some of the other housing areas. Bar Harbor itself is a pretty small town. This is the YMCA, and there's a pool in there. You can go for a swim if you join the Y. As we continue over here, a little bit. Now we're about 2 blocks off Main Street, and I'll continue just shooting out the window, and you can see the homes are much more modest. Based on my real estate look a few weeks ago, I would say that most of these homes would probably sell in the $500,000 to $700,000 range, even though they're pretty modest. And these are pretty much owner-occupied in here. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, if we turn left here, we'll just go back out to Main Street, which is what I think I'll do. See, some of the homes are pretty small. And there's some tennis courts and athletic fields here. And more homes. We are literally right at the edge of town, or on the side of a fairly steep hill here, and there basically are no streets further up. Here we go, in, and more homes. I'll just continue this little drive, and we'll go back into downtown just to show you how small Bar Harbor is. We're back on Main Street as we continue toward downtown. And this fence on the right is the big estate that we drove by the edge of, and just shows you how small Bar Harbor is. The town has about 5,000 people, and of those, but the town is the entire northern 40% of the island. And of those 5,000 people, probably about 3,000, maybe 3,500 live here in Bar Harbor. And here we are, after what, a 60-second drive, we're coming back into downtown. And I will make a left here, and we will go out a little, down one more residential street, and I'll call this little tour of Bar Harbor quits. So here we are at the beginning of the main part of downtown Bar Harbor, and in just a second, this is the village green right here, although right now it looks more like the village white since it's all covered with snow. And as we drive away from Main Street toward the other edge of Bar Harbor, and I'll just turn down the street here. This brick building is the Bar Harbor Public Library, and I hope sometime in the next few months to do a kind of feature on the public libraries here on the island, because we have some nice libraries here given the size of the island. So here are the homes as we drive down this street, one block from Main Street. You can see, again, relatively modest homes. Although many of these homes are rented out by the week in the summer. I know people who live in this area who have a property off the island and move there in the summer and rent their home out because it's very lucrative to rent a home by the week. building, which there are very, very few here in Bar Harbor. Three-way stop. More homes. You just go down here to the next stop. This is the back side of the YMCA, which we went by on the street I'm going to turn onto right here. And here we are coming back to Main Street, which is what is right at the stoplight up here. So anyway, that is my quick tour of a little bit more of Bar Harbor, some of the residential areas, just to give you a feel for what the town is like away from downtown. And I am going to head out of town now and go back home. I'm heading south on Main Street toward what will be the topic of my next video. A tour, I hope, of the Park Loop Road and the coastal part of Acadia National Park here on the eastern side of Mount Desert Island. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. And if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click that notification bell.